Happy Wednesday, folks. It is Hunter from Support Local Film. I am so glad you're watching. We have someone really, really special. In fact, we have someone's really, really special today. But I have to tell you something about our Halloween event. Our Halloween event, it is 3 days away. It is Support Local Film, Film Hounds, Homecoming Horror. So, Homecoming Horror, what does that mean? Well, it means we're going to get some fun news about homecoming, but we're going to combine it with costume contests. We're going to have spooky drinks. We're going to have local movies that are all going to be at the Rhyolite Gallery. That's Rhyolite Gallery in Castle Rock, October 29th, 6 to 10 p.m. Have you figured out your Halloween plans? Well, you better get the jump on it because we have only a few tickets left for this fun event. There's going to be fun prizes for everyone who shows up in costume, ready to get into that contest. There's going to be fun things to do, and even better, scary movies. So you better get your tickets now. The RSVP link is below. And now I have someone special for you guys to meet. It is the Gore House Girls.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Andy Rugg, and welcome to Support Local Film. We have a very special show today. I'm going to pass it on to Hunter.
Yes, Andy. Hi. Thank you. It's great to see you on the show. You are a special guest today.
Thank you.
Yeah, because Julia is now on to greener pastures. She's going to True EDM. She's a Christian EDM promoter, so she's going to be doing some fun stuff. Check that out. But today we have you on the show, and we have some exciting news. Don't we, Andy? We have two scary little people on the show with us, and they are going to be a lot of fun to talk to, right, Andy?
Yes, they are.
And who are they?
They are Maddie and Carmen. I'm not sure about last names. Are we sharing last names? 'Cause either way, I don't know them.
Don't worry. I think they'll be A-okay if we don't know their last names, but they can just tell them themselves. Hi, what's up, guys?
Hello.
So what are your names?
I am Carmen Semenik. I am the director of Gore House.
Excellent.
I'm Maddie Lynn. I helped produce Gore House and did a lot of the special effects on set.
That's exactly true. Maddie, you are actually very special because you are a second-time person on the guest. That there's like a list of 5 or 6 people who I was like, I have to have them on the show again, and you were top of that list. So tell me about Gore House. What is Gore House? Because I refer to you guys as the Gore House Girls, and when I showed Andy the movie, she's like, I see why. So tell us about Gore House. Tell us about who you are and what's up.
Gore House is a short film that I made for school. It is inspired by exploitation horror, specifically Herschel Gordon Lewis, who is the godfather of gore. A lot of the titles of his movies are very, it's like Gore Girls or Blood Feast, and they all have these like fun titles that are plays on words. So we came up with the title Gore House and the idea and just kind of ran with it. And I got Maddie to help me out, and she helped a lot.
And it's a pun with like whorehouse, right?
Yes, exactly. Which a lot of people don't realize at first. And like one of my teachers was like, you need to have them say whorehouse in the movie so that people are like, oh.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a movie that is going to be in film festivals soon.
Yeah.
So what really inspired this? What was the moment when you said, these exact circumstances, 2 boys get into a little bit of trouble with their words, and then they end up here?
I guess it just felt like a story that would be really easy for me to write, especially when they're in the restaurant and just kind of like dissing on the server. That's like experiences that I feel like I've had before and was pretty easy to bring to life. Also, it was just like, I just knew I could make it really colorful, and I knew I could have a lot of character with the like brothel workers' performances, and I think I wanted to make something campy and not too serious, but still kind of have like a theme that was important. So yeah, it was just like kind of fell into my lap. My partner Elijah is the one that came up with the story Gore House and like kind of the log line, and he let me write it. And it just like, I didn't even expect to make it. I wrote it, and I was like, once my school was like, you got to make a production, I was like, should I try to make this? And then I reached out to Maddie, and she was like, we can do this, totally, let's do it. And it just kind of like worked out really well.
I think one of the best stories from when we started production on that is Carmen and I were going to get costumes and chains. We were going to a thrift store and we were going to Home Depot. And while we were doing those things, we got comments from the grossest people that worked at the thrift store and that worked at Home Depot. Just like, you're buying all this lingerie, I'll give you a discount because I like to picture you in it. And like, that's literally why we're making this movie. Like, that's exactly the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, buying the chains at Home Depot, the guy walked up and was like, he was like, oh, I don't want to know what you ladies are doing with those chains. And I was like, this is ironic, isn't it?
If you watch a lot of like Denver film, or if you're a fan of the show, you might see some familiar faces. There's some people who've done some very exciting things. I was told today by Andy that someone in the Gorehouse movie has a special connection to what we're going to talk about a little later, Steven Soderbergh. Andy, take it away.
About Matthew?
Matthew.
Wait, what does Steven have to do with it?
Steven Soderbergh directed.
Okay, I knew that.
Yeah.
Just kidding, I knew
So
that.
yeah.
But Matthew Merlin, that's it, the main actor in your film. I'm sure you guys know this, that he was in Finding Magic Mike. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a reality show about becoming the next, great male stripper.
Something I really aspire to, as any self-respecting man would. What is something that, like, when you're looking at this the selection process for roles like these, this is one of those things that you got to get not just the best actors, but someone who is a little out there. How do you find that?
We did a lot of auditions. Merlin, it was funny because when we were making Gorehouse, he wasn't allowed to talk about the show that he was on or tell us what it was. Mm-hmm. He was just like, I was on this thing, I'm not allowed to talk about it, just so you know, like, and I have like these rules as an actor, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, like, that's interesting. I have no idea what to expect of what you were in. That's so cool.
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah, right? And then, like, even, it was so funny because in the lingerie on set, I was like, you seem really comfortable. You seem like you're having a great time being in this right now. And then when it, like, premiered or showed that he was in Finding Magic Mike, I was like, this is awesome. This is great publicity.
Yeah, Maddie, you must have been exciting from, like, a producer standpoint, because from this movie becoming Magic Mike, like, you're like, marketing.
It was actually kind of nerve-wracking at first, because when he initially, when we were in talks with having him play one of the characters, he had a lot of restrictions, like, we can't do show that he's in this movie until Magic Mike comes out. He can't talk about these different things. So we were a little bit nervous signing him to it for fear that we wouldn't be able to show it, or that he would get in trouble with his contracts or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it was a little nerve-wracking, and then he explained a little bit more about that and exactly what he was doing, and here are these restrictions, and it wound up working out so well because he such a great performance. Mm-hmm. Him and Andrew did such an amazing job.
Andrew was amazing. When we did auditions, it was like we probably auditioned like 8 people, and he was the last one to come in, and like it was me and Elijah like reading the script with him, and we like could not like contain our excitement when he started reading. Like it just like he took off his mask and like put his hat on backwards, and he had the mullet and the beard and the mustache, and I was just like, this is the guy. This has to be the guy.
Well, and he actually helped us with the next round of auditions because he was so great. Mm-hmm. We had him do the partner read for the other character, which, fun fact, don't do horror movie auditions in a local library with a really good actor, because he will scream, and the librarians will be very upset that you are not respecting the quiet policy.
Funny enough, when we first started the show, before we found Denver Community Media, shout out to Denver Community Media, we did this at a local library. And we had constant problems trying to keep like the room we were in, like the little still private room, clean of like other people who are like, I'm coming in and we're also going to share this room. And I'm like, we are recording, Mr. Homeless Person.
Libraries are a great resource, especially for local filmmakers, to do auditions, to do table reads, all that kind of stuff. Just knowing your restrictions in a library is important.
Speaking of actors, who's the main girl in the film? I loved her.
It's Allie Barnum.
Uh-huh.
She is a local actress. She does mostly horror stuff, and she's done a lot with Ghouls Night Productions as well. She's amazing. I met her through work, and she like just was like, I was like, I'm a local filmmaker, and she was like, I'm an actor, and I was like, oh. I was like, you happen to look like exactly the person I want to play this part. I didn't even have her audition. I was just like, you're the person that I want to play this. I'm like, hopefully you're good. Luckily this is campy, just in case, but she did great.
What kind of work do you do to find these kinds of people?
I was working at this bar called Slashers for a little while when it first opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing some of the like movie coordinating, and I would do like a couple shifts there a week. But yeah, that was where we met, and I was like, perfect.
Nice.
And that's actually where we shot the basement scene as well.
All the gore. You know, I love gore. It's just, you know, it's like, I am a huge horror fan, but like mostly thrillers. Like I love thrillers. Then it's like horror is just like a thriller just with like a sprinkle of gore. It's just like beautiful. So like how was filming that with like special effects and things and stabbing and blood splatters? Like how was that?
It's always fun. I love doing horror movies because those are the days that I feel like the crew is having the most fun, because everyone's just like, how are they doing that? Like, you know, like everyone's like, Maddie, can I see? What are you doing? You know, like, so it's always really fun doing special effects. It is kind of like nerve-wracking sometimes because there's like always gonna be like something going wrong, and we actually ended up doing reshoots for a lot of the gore as well, just because it was like lighting issues. Like you have to be really particular and careful and know how you're gonna shoot it, otherwise it's like just not gonna cut together well, it's gonna look fake. So it's like we definitely learned that during the first shoots, and we were like, I'm like, it's called Gore House, like it has to be good gore and it has to like look good, so we gotta like do these reshoots and make it look perfect. And Maddie was amazing and was very helpful as well.
It is always fun, like on set, just figuring out what's going to work best in camera, because when you're building all these prosthetics and you're doing all these different things, you don't know how it's going to read on camera, you don't know exactly how the actors are positioning. So there was one shot where we had a prosthetic that was supposed to hold a knife, but the knife was too heavy and it was supposed to be right in the forehead of one of the actors. And so we got a trash bag and put it around my hand so that it was blacked out, and then I just held the knife with my hands, like in the actor's hair. And that shot is in the movie.
You can see, you can see her fingers
Yeah.
holding the knife, and so there's just blood all over it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's brain.
I'd never know
most
otherwise.
people don't realize what that is
Yeah.
unless you were on set that day. And there's a great picture of me like sitting behind Andrew with me sitting behind the character with all this garbage bag around me, holding this knife, just smiling white as can be. And then doing propulsion blood is really difficult if you're bad at aiming.
Experience can attest to this. My experience can attest to this as well.
I think we hit 2 girls in the eye with fake blood, because I think
man.
Jasmine and Allie both got hit.
Yeah.
They were so cool about it and such troopers.
I was like,
so much fun, and the shots looked so good.
Yeah, I made sure those shots were in the film. I'm like, we didn't just do that to you for nothing. We're gonna make sure your bloody eyes are in the film.
It's like the Tom Cruise breaking his ankle during Mission Impossible, and that's the cut that they use, or Leo cutting his hand.
Yeah.
Like those are the shots that really.
You gotta make it worth it. Yeah.
Well, I think my favorite experience in a theater while showing one of my movies is definitely a scene in Homecoming where, by the way, Trooper Hannah Vale, perfect person. She gets all this fake blood in her mouth because she's drinking it from somebody else, and it pours from like the cup is like right above the hand it's supposedly pouring from. So in the shot, it looks like it's pouring from the hand, and it's all dripping into her mouth. And we ran out of like her preferred flavor of the blood, and I was like, we can spend 20 minutes mixing this. I have the cherry flavor right here, and she's like, hit me with the cherry. So on the day when it was showing, that's like the one that gets the big audience reaction. It's like everyone's going like, ah, and then Hannah Vale's just like gagging next to me because she's like, the taste of it is visceral and it's terrible.
What did you use for your fake blood?
What's my recipe?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very simple. So I use off-brand Walmart Hershey's, because that's a little thicker, and then I use Caro. You have to use Caro. You can't use the Great Value brand for that. I prefer gel red food coloring, and then I like palm olive white soap, because that doesn't affect the coloring, but it does get it out quicker. However, that's only if we're making the non-stained, non-edible kind. If we're making the edible kind, I use Torani syrup, because it's like you have to get something to get that terrible flavor out. So I like 3 different flavors. I like blackberry, I like mango, and I like cherry. Cherry is if I can get the match coloring, but if it's dark enough, I use blackberry or mango, because those are less intrusive flavors.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I literally almost brought fake blood into the studio today. It was in my bag, and then I was like, I should leave this in my car because it's probably not a good thing to bring to a studio.
Oh, I'm constantly terrified of getting pulled over because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a little bit of a hoarder. So everything I use on set is just in my car.
Yeah.
And I think there's still like fake blood all over my back seat from when we did reshoots on Gore House. So I'm just like, if I get pulled over, I sure hope they know that filmmaking is messy.
Unfortunately, when I sold my last car, I had the same problem because everything in my trunk, it was in my trunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like at the place where we were dropping it off, and I forgot to pull all the stuff out. So what's in the back of my car but bloody ropes, like an airsoft AK-47.
Oh, it's luckily I've never had any issues with that. I was making my thesis film when I was in college, and the culminating scene is this woman tied up with strings, and there's like satanic writing and candles, and it's all, horror film. Well, while we were filming, it was 11 p.m., we got a noise complaint. So the police, the Boulder PD, came to my apartment. They knocked on my door and were like, hey, what's going on? And then they saw the camera and they're like, oh, are you film students? Yeah, we are. Sorry, we'll try to keep it down.
You can do anything if you just have a camera in the corner.
I mean, pretty much, except for film, because they also shut down so many shoots that we had.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have so much experience talking to cops now about film shoots of like, oh no, we're shooting in this public space. Like, here's the permit that we have. I'm sorry, someone called you. Like, it's fine.
Today, guys, we have something very, very special for you. We formulated this because Gore House is such a movie where you're like, good for her. Without ruining anything, we'll just say, at the end, you're always like, good for her. We came up with a game called Good for Her.
It's game time.
All right. So I picked 3 movies where at the end, you're saying, good for her.
Am I allowed to play?
You know what, Andy? Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you something special. 'Cause
Okay.
I picked some difficult trivia.
Uh-huh.
You can be the landline, the phone a friend,
Yes.
and you'll be the one person to save them from the clutches of defeat. Because with these movies, if they get them wrong, someone's going to come and say, good for her, before they're gotten.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Today's a dun, dun, dun kind of day. Okay, what is the one word that is never mentioned in A Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night? So this is an Iranian movie. It's a vampire Iranian movie. It's actually secretly shot in California. What is the one word A Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night does not use? Is it A, Dracula? Is it B, the Ayatollah? Is it C, vampire? Or is it D, Iran?
Yeah, Carmen, do you know it?
Vampire.
How did you know?
Oh, wow, she must have some scary mind scanners kind of power to read my mind.
Incredible.
Incredible.
I love this movie. It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I've seen it probably a dozen times.
See, I didn't know it was about vampires because I haven't seen it. I just thought it was going to be like some creepy crime. I'm like, I don't know if I want to see that. But if it's vampires, I'm like, I can handle
I think
that.
you'll like it. It's a little bit more, how do I say this? Artsy
Yeah.
than a lot of horror films, but it gets under your skin in a way that's really, really visceral. It's so beautifully shot. I mean, the actors are incredible. Yeah, check it out.
I'm down for that.
Well, I really enjoy, because it's a directorial debut. She's an Iranian woman, and Iran's been in the news so much. Raise hell with the revolution, for sure. And it's just a movie that when you watch it, it's like so subversive. I'm shocked they got it through the censors, and it was the Iranian pick for the Oscars. We've talked about this before, Maddie. Jennifer's Body. The all-male marketing team for Megan Fox-led Jennifer's Body wanted to do this to promote the movie. Was it A, do a Hardee's commercial where Megan Fox bites into the burger with the vampire teeth? Is it B, do a cover of a Taylor Swift song where they replace the word love with blood? Is it C, do live chats with amateur porn sites? Or is it D, do another movie with world-famous actress Laura Dern?
I actually don't know this one.
I don't know either.
I'm almost positive it's not Laura Dern because the marketing destroyed that movie for its intended audience.
Yeah.
I want to say it's the Hardee's commercial because I think that was when the Paris Hilton one was big when she had the burger all over her body and stuff like that. And that's my gut. Do you have a gut feeling?
I feel like it's that one too.
Because the porn site it was intended to be for people like in high school kinda, but she's not a vampire. She's a succubus. Doesn't have vampire teeth.
Yeah.
Carl's Jr. commercials back in the day were just like pornography.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
remember those, like,
Oh
the good
yeah.
old days?
So let's see, 2009 is when Jennifer's Body came out. I feel like porn wasn't as like talked about.
I can't imagine the Taylor Swift song.
Well, the music was a huge part of Jennifer's Body. Like that whole soundtrack is why I watched the movie when I was 13 and why I'm still in love. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I'm still in love with it. So I'm going to go with the Hardee's commercial.
You'd be incorrect.
Ah!
You're not going to believe this. The all-male marketing team wanted to have Megan Fox go onto live chats on amateur porn sites to advertise this movie.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
That was revealed in 2016.
Oh my god, I really underestimated porn sites, I guess. Really?
I think you overestimated men.
Very true.
Yeah.
No, there's a whole campaign now called Justice for Jennifer's Body because after Transformers, they're just like, look how hot Megan Fox is. That was it. That was the whole movie.
And wasn't it like they totally just marketed it towards men?
Yeah,
Even though
so
it was like women love the movie.
There's a scene where Megan Fox is coming out of this lake that she's swimming in,
Yes.
and she's fully naked. The scene before that, she is like luring this guy in, and she's unzipping her shirt coat thing that she's wearing very seductively, and those were all in the trailer. None of the parts that are like actually part of the movie, but the movie's all about female friendship and dynamics within that.
Yeah.
So the substance of the film, because it was written by Diablo Cody, who also wrote Juno, it's for women that are searching for something and have this identity crisis, especially with their female friends and the difficulties with those relationships. It's a wonderful movie, and many women now are like, why didn't I watch this when I was 13? I would have loved this. Like, well, because you probably didn't want to see Megan Fox right after Transformers. Like that, it was marketed so poorly. That Hardee's commercial is a good red herring.
It was a good
yeah.
red herring. Oh, speaking of red herrings, you should check out Andy's company. It's called Red Herring. She's the world's best copywriter, and since you're a very good producer, yeah, she's the world's best copywriter. You should check her out since you're the world's best producer in horror. Anyway, back to the show. So number 3, this one. Now, you were the first person to actually show me this movie, Maddie, so I think you're going to love this. Along with the coincidence of stars Katharine Isabelle and Emily Perkins auditioning on the same day, the two actresses also were born in the same hospital, attended the same preschool, elementary school, and private school, worked through the same talent agency, and both guest starred on the show Supernatural. Both have done Stephen King movie adaptations that both aired on ABC, as well as separate episodes of other TV shows. But what is the one thing that Katharine Isabelle has done that Emily Perkins has not in the horror genre? Had a meaningful friendship with actor Steve Buscemi? Was it B, been turned into a vampire? Was it C, starred in a cult children's horror show called Goosebumps? Or D, met Laura Dern and lived to tell the tale?
Goosebumps.
I say there's a lot of Laura Dern in this, and I love Laura.
Love me some Laura Dern. You're absolutely correct. It is, in fact, Goosebumps. She was in one episode of Goosebumps, and that's the one thing that Emily Perkins hasn't done that Katharine Isabelle has.
Is Emily Perkins the younger sister?
Emily Perkins is she plays the...
She's the younger sister.
She's the younger sister.
Snaps, yeah.
Yeah, in the Ginger Snaps. But she's actually 4 years older, surprisingly.
Oh. Have you guys seen American Mary?
Yes. Soska Sisters are like my
Love.
favorite. They're amazing. That movie is actually what introduced me to Katharine Isabelle, which is what then introduced me to Ginger Snaps. So I'm
so good.
Well, it's excellent. And you passed this quiz. Good for her,
Yes.
good for you. If you're just joining us, we have the Gorehouse girls, Maddie and Carmen. They are excellent horror movie producers. They are fun little people. And when we get back, we're going to be talking about what's next.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, we have two very special guests with us today. It is the director and producer of Gore House. Yay.
Yay is right. So you guys are doing many exciting things. You're young. You're about to jump on the world and stab it. What's next?
At the moment, am working on other productions mostly, kind of giving myself a break because Gore House was a lot of work. But I am planning on writing more movies that are similar to Gore House. I want to kind of do this like trilogy of gore, where it's like kind of the same like not themes, but like tone and style, and just like the campy, gory, like gore in the title type thing. I'm kind of trying to decide what to write next. I have like kind of ideas for both of them, and I have the titles, but I just kind of have to write them and get started.
You should do something with like Gorbachev. He just passed away.
That's all. You're right. That's great.
I actually went with another direction. I was thinking you could do lesbian Gore House and call it Cottage Gore.
Cottage Gore.
Carmen did make a short called Stabbin' Cabin,
Yeah.
which is, I feel like, the second part. Cottage Gore, Stabbin' Cabin.
That's perfect.
I like the Russian version where it's say it again for me, Andy.
Gorbachev?
But Gorbachev, and it could be like the death of Stalin, but everyone's a zombie.
I would love to just see that blood trickle down on that birthmark.
That's what I
like. That's
literally
what I
like
can
that's
picture.
like
Yeah.
like it's really a scar from
Yeah.
being stabbed. Oh my gosh.
Many terrible creepypastas are going to be based off of this conversation. All right. So truly, Maddie, you're special because horrible things, and it's always amazing to talk to you guys. We just had a conversation at the beginning of the month, but we didn't get to chat about all the extra fun things that Horrible Things is planning. Can you give us an update on what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so we just finished our Halloween Ends advanced screening, which it was super fun. Hasn't happened yet, but when this posts, it will have happened.
I will be my best to be there, so I will attest to that.
No, we've been doing a lot of different things, working a lot with the community and trying to integrate more parts that are more family friendly. In addition to our 18 plus crowd, which is the more horror based, the truest parts, but we're also incorporating a lot of filmmaker curated events. So we have screenings for their films, and they answer questions and have more workshop type environments where we can go in with people that have never directed before and they have a scene that they want to go over. We've got actors coming to the workshops and whatnot to talk about, okay, we're doing this scene, this is how it should be directed, or this is how I would direct it, how would you do this, and have an open conversation about the best ways to make movies happen. Because I truly believe that anyone can make whatever movie they want if they try really hard. We tried to work out deals. We did a crowdfunding effort, like everything we could do to make this happen, used all of our connections, our friends, that kind of thing to help us. And we did trade. Carmen is an excellent production designer. So she's worked on a lot of different things with people that helped on Gore House, just making the community really come up. And so Horrible Things has been trying to foster that community in a very rich way.
And we'll get more back to Horrible Things. I think it's one of the best film clubs in Denver. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. Horrible Things Film Club on your Instagram, your websites, are you on Facebook? Doesn't matter.
I don't believe so. No.
That's okay. Not the crowd. We're trying to get the young kids.
Okay, Grandpa.
Doing some spooky stuff. So
We've talked about introducing a TikTok.
you gotta do a TikTok. I would be behind you every % of the
I
way.
just want to see Eric try to use TikTok. I think that would be very amusing for me.
Talk about Grandpa. Going to do something together that I think we haven't really done yet on this show, but Andy was game to try it. So Andy, you want to explain exactly what we're going to get ourselves into?
I'm very excited for this. We're going to play a game. May have heard of it. Smash or pass.
Nice.
Smash. Except instead of desirable people, I have chosen the most famous horror movie villains.
Yes.
Okay.
I love all of them.
Yes.
You've told me all about Skeet Ulrich and your little fantasies.
He's so beautiful. Him and Matthew Lillard, like,
Oh,
That's
there-
not fair to me.
Yeah.
It's frustrating how attractive you find Scooby and Shaggy.
Not Scooby, just Shaggy.
I amend my statement, just Shaggy.
Okay. And I will be keeping track of how many people you choose to smash. And by smash, if there's any children listening, I mean, treat with respect. Maybe give a tender kiss on the mouth. Wink, wink. Okay. So, we're going to get started. Just tell me smash or pass. Okay. We're going to start with the classics. Freddy Krueger.
Smash.
Smash, for sure.
Okay. Love it. Yeah, with that skin. Is really,
Dude knows how to use his hands, okay?
Exactly.
No.
Some Ceraphil will fix the skin.
Michael Myers with the mask on.
I mean, that's just asking if we'd smash William Shatner, which is a pass for me.
Carmen? Taking your silence as a smash.
Maybe smash.
Okay.
He's
like it.
mysterious.
Yeah.
Dark and
Jason
brooding.
Voorhees.
With the burlap sack or with the hockey mask?
Sack. I
Pass.
prefer the sack.
Pass.
Pass. Okay, that's fair. That's kind of normal. This one's easy. I think we can all say it together. Norman Bates.
Smash.
Smash. Right? Yeah.
Smash.
Wait,
Thank you. Most gorgeous
is he
villain ever.
dressed in the wig?
God, I hope so.
I say it's. You can talk about it beforehand with the communication. Okay. Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Pazuzu, I'm assuming not in the body of a child.
Not in the body of a child.
So just like an entity, like
She's
a
gone through enough.
like a spiritual entity?
Yes.
That would be fun to, like, non-corporeal forms? Smash. 100%. I'm into ghosts.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Ooh, okay. That's fair.
50-50 on the astral love.
Reserve the right to say no. Tiffany from Chucky. Not Chucky,
Oh,
but
smash.
Tiffany.
Smash.
Okay,
Smash.
That's so easy.
Yeah.
Jennifer
Hunter?
Tilly? Oh.
Literally.
It depends. Now, yes. Her acting before,
Wait, doll Tiffany or human Tiffany? Why do these all have so many different forms?
I
My
know.
goodness.
I was thinking doll.
smash.
But human, Okay, next, Leatherface from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Original. Pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pass.
Okay,
I
how
feel
about
like he'd smell bad.
Yeah, for
how about Leatherface's dad?
Pass.
Pass.
What about Leatherface's grandpa that lives in the attic?
Pass.
Okay.
Chop top or bust?
Yeah, chop top.
Okay, next is Pennywise, the hot one.
Pass.
Pass.
Bill Skarsgård, you're passing on Bill?
Imagine
Hell?
you're in bed with this clown and his eyes do the thing. Terrifying.
His
Heart
dance
attack on
was
the
like
spot.
a accordion
I
dance.
hated that scene.
I know.
It was like bad warp stabilization.
That's a good point.
I think it was effectively disorienting, which is exactly how I would describe getting into bed with Bill Skarsgård.
Okay, this next one is a test. If you fail, you will go to prison. Damien from The Omen. The child.
He's a child.
Pass. Okay, good. That was a test. This one is dedicated to my sister because she is in love with this person, this actress and character. Annie from Misery. Kathy Bates.
Pass.
Carmen.
I gotta think about that. I guess pass. Maybe a
Okay.
little too crazy.
Yeah.
But her in Castle Rock, smash.
Smash. Two left. The Fishman from The Shape of Water.
Oh, smash. 100%.
Smash.
I love
Yeah.
fishmen.
I actually haven't seen. I haven't seen that movie.
Abe Sapien, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, I count Swamp Thing, even though he's not really a fish. But I love fish people. That's like a thing. Smash all the way.
Yep.
Aquatic smash.
Aquatic smash.
So Mossy is your type.
Carmen, are we gonna pass?
I'm gonna pass.
That's fair. The shark from Jaws.
Brucey.
Chrissy.
The ultimate villain of all time. Smash or pass?
Pass.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah, I guess pass. I feel like I don't know. There's lots of options though. He's tenacious.
Yeah. Well, I calculated your results, Maddie.
Oh God.
You said smash more than Carmen did, so I am clinically diagnosing you as a psychopath.
You know what? That's fair.
But also, I am not a therapist, so.
And I'm just a game show host, and I say everyone won.
Yay!
As long as I get to a fish man, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'll be crazy. That's fine.
End goal. Yeah.
Interesting destination.
Shape of Water, so good. I love Fishmen.
See, the problem is I knew that was going to happen, but I was in the theater with my sister, and I only knew that 8 minutes in, and she was there, and she was looking at me, and I was looking at her, and the fish was looking at me, and I was looking at her, and I was like, this is going to happen.
Well, it's the Michael Shannon scene that
Which
made me
one?
not
Because
wanna-
he's so good in everything he's ever done.
I think it's him in bed with his wife.
With the
And-
black fingers.
Ugh.
I'm a Michael Shannon stan.
I love him, but his character in that.
I'm terrified of him, but in an erotic way.
Yeah, he's sexy. I liked him in Knives Out. He was like really creepy.
So good.
Was he still sexy in
Smash.
Knives Out?
I mean, he's still the same guy.
He was sexy as General Zod, for sure.
Yeah.
Now that was shockingly sexy.
Yeah, he was the only good part of that movie.
I disagree because we had Christopher Maloney, and it's very funny to think that he stops his day job at SVU, puts on an army captain suit, and then helps Superman. It's funny to think that he crosses the bridge and instead of Atlantic City, it's Metropolis. That's a funny thought for Hunter. Maddie and Carmen, it's so great to have you on the program. But Andy, we gotta lead off now. We gotta say goodbye.
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 Later.
Will we ever see you again? Depends on what kind of scarecrow is in this movie. But wherever you are, stop what you're doing
Stop. Just stop what you're doing. Okay?
and watch some local movies.
Yeah, support local film. No matter who is kidnapping you and keeping you in a brothel.
Or if you're just in a scary little place where, you can't see where the light switch is or who's making all the noises in the dark. Stay creative,
Stay
Colorado.
creative, Colorado. Was that okay?
That was much better. I want it that way.